Hi, welcome to another episode of Science Made Simple. I'm Firhad, and I'm a science specialist here at the Pique Lab. In this video, I'll be analyzing a past year examination question from the topic of movement of substances. I've placed the question in a handout, and you may download it for free by clicking on the link in the description box below. So let's begin. Question 1. The diagram shows some cells in the roots of a plant absorbing water from the soil. What are the two processes which you have learned involving movement? We have diffusion and osmosis. Some of you may also have heard of a third process known as active transport, but we will save that third process for another question. So is it possible for water to move using diffusion or osmosis? The answer is yes for both. So what is the difference? Before we discuss the difference, let's check what is diffusion. It is the net or overall movement of any substance. The substance can be solid particles like ink pigments, liquid, or even gas, from high to low concentration. What about osmosis? What are the criteria for the movement to be called osmosis then? There are three. First, the particles moving must be water only. Second, the net movement must be from high to low concentrations of water. But the correct term that we use is water potential. Thirdly, there must be a partially permeable membrane involved. What is a partially permeable membrane or PPM? It is a membrane that allows only small substances to pass through, but large substances cannot pass through. What are some common examples of PPM? A popular example of PPM is whisking tubing. What about in an actual cell? Are there any partially permeable membrane? Think about which part of the cells allows some substance to pass through but not others. That sounds like the job of the cell membrane. So that's the PPM in the cell. Remember, all three criteria must be met before we can call the movement process osmosis. Let me give you a scenario. What if you have water particles moving from high to low water potential, but there is no PPM involved? Can we still call it osmosis? No. So what do we call it then? It is just called diffusion. Let's go back to this question. We know that the job of the roots is to absorb water and mineral salts. So what process will water move into the root? Let's check. Do we meet all three criteria for osmosis? We have water. We have high water potential in the soil outside to lower water potential inside the cell. Do we have a PPM? Yes, we do. So water is absorbed by the roots using osmosis. In fact, can you identify what is cell 1 in the root? With that long extension, that is your root hair cell. So water is absorbed by osmosis into the root hair cell, and where is it heading to? Water is heading in this direction. All by osmosis, passing through all these cells known as the cortex cells towards the central part of the root. What do you think will be the cells present in the center of the root? There will be xylem cells, which will transport the water upwards to all parts of a plant. We are supposed to determine how the water potential in cell 2 differs from cell 1 and cell 3. How exactly is the water moving between these three cells? Can it be moving from cell 3 to cell 2 to cell 1? No, since the water moves towards the center of the roots, the water must be moving from cell 1 to cell 2, and then from cell 2 to cell 3. Let's focus on cell 1 and 2 only, since water moves from cell 1 to cell 2 by osmosis. Remember, for osmosis, can the water move from low water potential to high water potential? No, it can't. Water must be moving from a higher to lower water potential. So, which cell has a higher water potential, 1 or 2? It must be cell 1 with a higher water potential compared to cell 2. Now, focusing on cell 2 and 3 now, we can do the same for these two cells. Since water moves by osmosis from cell 2 to cell 3, which cell will have the higher water potential? Is it 2 or 3? It will be cell 2 with the higher water potential compared to cell 3. So let's take a look at our options. When we compare cell 2 versus cell 1, we can eliminate option 1 and 2 since cell 2 has a lower water potential than cell 1, leaving us with options 3 and 4. And when we compare cell 2 and 3 now, we know cell 2 has a higher water potential compared to cell 3, allowing the water to flow inwards. Now this gives our answer as option 3.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found this video useful, do give us a thumbs up. If you want to check out the other videos, click on the link on the right hand side. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos. Thank you, and I see you next time. Bye!